Petty cash fund does three activities: establishing the fund, making payments, and replenishing the fund. Let's get down to establishing the fund. If I want to put this money inside the petty cash fund, I have to debit petty cash and I have to credit cash, because cash is going from my hand to the fund, and at the same time the fund is an asset. So the petty cash asset is going to increase, thus it has to be debited. The cash, on the other hand, is being credited because it's reducing in amount. When speaking about the petty cash funds, we have to get down to the basics of it. Petty cash funds come from where? It's basically when companies constantly spend a small amount of money on daily office supplies or other small transactions. So the price of the marker will be credited, the price of the pen will be credited, and the price of the scissor will be credited. After buying those products, now if I look at replenishing the fund, I see that the petty cash fund report has the petty cash fund, the amount that was initially there. This money was initially inside the fund. Then we need to look at the cash that's remaining. So for example, if you buy the pen, the marker, and the scissor, then out of $100, only $15 is left. So the cash that's remaining is $15. So in order to get 15 back up to 100, we need to add $85. So the cash needed to replenish the fund is $85. After we've bought those products, we need to then make the journal entry. The journal entry must have the date, the items that are being debited, the items that's being credited, and at the end it's very important to write assets equals to liabilities plus equity. So the pen expense is 50, the marker expense is 20, the scissor expense is 15. When you add all of these up, the cash amount that's decreasing is $85. And you need this cash amount in order to replenish the fund. What happens with cash over and short? For example, my petty cash fund had $100 originally. Now there's only $13 remaining. So it makes sense to say that there's $87 that we spent on the pen, on the scissor, on the marker, etc. Now if you look at the receipt, there's the pen, there's a marker, there's a scissor, but it only adds up to 85. So there's a difference between the total receipts and the cash to replenish the fund. If the total receipts is smaller than the cash to replenish the fund, debit cash over and short. Cash over and short is debited with the other expenses. If total receipts is greater than the cash to replenish the fund, then you have to credit cash over and short. Once you've made the adjustment to see whether the cash to replenish the fund is smaller or greater than the total receipts, or if it's equal, you need to credit cash by the same amount of the expenses that have been done. For example, if $13 is left in the fund, you have to credit cash by the original amount minus the cash that's left inside the fund. Once you get this, then the adjusting entry is done. After understanding this, the concept of petty cash fund is basically done.